Hello and welcome to Pre-Show Banter, an hour version.
An hour of pre-show banter. I mean,
Only with this pre-show
hours.
banter, we're gonna just talk about news articles. It's definitely not a podcast.
Right on cue, my Discord wants to update.
Yeah.
You know, I've been thinking about starting a podcast. Right? I mean, that sounds.
That's
easy.
why I use telemessage to access Discord, dude.
That'll solve it. That's my problem.
You guys aren't paying extra for a special Discord client that has a bunch of Russian flags on it?
Yeah.
I only access Discord through a VNC session on another computer in another country. Yeah.
Smart. Otherwise, it's impossible to stop yourself from getting all those notification sounds, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's mainly for the mute that I can't do on the other devices.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, VNC doesn't have sound.
VNC doesn't have sound because I can't figure out the drivers because I'm a Linux desktop browser user.
Yes. My Windows for the world.
It seems like everybody's updating Discord.
How did they type that if they're updating Discord? I don't believe
I know.
it.
I
Yeah.
don't
That's
believe
impossible. Chicken and egg.
Or maybe they've meant that like sarcastically, being like, updating Discord. Like, I still got the vulnerabilities from 3 years ago. Who updates Discord?
Or it's AI writing it as it reboots it on them automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have my AI write messages on Discord for me now. It's so much easier.
We got the New Zealander out here throwing out date jokes, being like, it is Tuesday. And it's like, okay, yeah, we get it.
We get it, you international dateline.
You live in the future.
I understand the international dateline, but I never understood why NBC needs a whole show about it. It seems kind of excessive.
All I want to do is talk about the articles right now. We need something else to talk about.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we could talk about popcorn.
Popcorn. All right. What are we talking about here? Are we talking?
I don't know. I just see all these popcorn emojis in Discord.
Really?
Yeah, we got pizza emojis. We got popcorn emojis. I use the Elton Brown technique to make popcorn, which I highly recommend if you don't already know what that is.
Is that like a brown butter technique?
No, it's basically you use a mixing bowl and you cover it in foil, and then you poke holes in the top of the mixing bowl, like in the top of the foil, and then you like kind of just you cook it on like an open burner. So this only applies if
you put this in the microwave. Wow.
No. This only applies if you have a gas stove. If you have induction, you can't do it this way.
A loser.
The key to having good popcorn is to buy like the MSG powder. It's called like Flavacol or whatever. It comes in like a milk canister.
Yeah, no, you can get. I think you can get that at like Accent. Is what it's called in some places.
I don't know. I know the stuff I know is called like Flavacol, and the packaging has not changed in like 35 years.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things you buy, and it's like a lifetime supply. Like it's like. It's like a 1 carton of powder would last you because you need like a 1/16 of a gram for one serving of popcorn.
I just think about in the original Scream, she was cooking popcorn and pretty much the same kind of tin foil over open flame technique that you were talking about there, but it was a pre-made one essentially.
Jiffy Pop.
Yeah, that was
Jiffy
good
Pop.
stuff. Wow, that was
Little what do you call it?
Sure, it wasn't Giphy Pop.
Hell yeah, you can buy it at Ace Hardware. That's how you know it's good.
That's so true.
That's funny. Guaranteed to not get slashed or maybe.
And yes, if you don't have MSG in your spice cabinet, you're doing it wrong. Go to your local grocery store, buy a MSG salt, and it makes everything better.
Was it so? Didn't they just ban MSG at the all-you-can-eat buffets because it made you full faster? Is that my?
Oh my god!
I think that was something from like 10 years ago.
That makes no sense. So they banned it because it makes you full faster. So the logic is like we want people to eat as much as they possibly can.
No, you don't want them to eat. You don't want them to slow them down at the
Right.
buffet, so you make more money, right?
Yeah.
This could totally be
Yes.
just straight up folklore, and I'm gonna live it.
No, there's no way this is true because MSG doesn't make you full faster. That's not how it works. It just makes food taste better.
Then how does it work? Oh, okay, so it
Argue-
just makes it taste better. So then
Yeah,
why? Okay, so why are all these packages say, like I didn't ask.
No
for this.
MSG.
They say no MSG. Why?
Yeah, it's the same reason why when you buy a steak, it's like gluten free. It's because like they just put all the labels that seem to vaguely make sense on whatever the package is, even if it's not like.
Right. So MSG is good in normal quantities. Is this
MSG is good. It basically just amps up umami flavors. So like there are natural sources of like the similar thing, which is like tomatoes, soy sauce. Like soy sauce is like natural MSG if you think about it.
Okay.
But yeah, and some people are sensitive to it. Someone said in chat triggers their migraines. There was like all like the MSG hate comes from like one quote unquote scientific study in like 2000 or like 1977 that basically is like, oh, I got a headache after I ate MSG. Like that's it. So basically, if you can eat MSG and it doesn't hurt you, then you're good.
Oh, so this is
all right. Roll the finger. This is not a cooking podcast. This is a cybersecurity news podcast.
What?
Let's do this.
Man, I was thinking about butter popcorn.
Hello and welcome to Black Hills Information Security Wrong Camera Talking About News. I'm Ralph. I love gators and I'm building a moat at my house to try to keep the gators in and out at the same time.
That was great.
I tried my best to go along with it.
You did great. Great job. So welcome everyone. It's June 2nd. It's 2025. It's not Tuesday. We're past Memorial Day. We're cruising into the summer here. Victoria's Secret got hacked, which is huge. How am I going to buy my underwear at this point? I don't know. Who else? What else happened? ConnectWise got hacked. Adidas got hacked. People are getting hacked left and right. AI, we already know AI will blackmail you. We found that out last week. But now AI is also being used to write books. So we got all kinds of fun stories.
Well, I think he's being caught used writing books.
Okay, that's true. So yeah, we can start with that one. It's kind of a lighthearted article, but basically, this isn't really a news story. It's just kind of a whoopsie, but this isn't surprising to me. Basically, the article is authors are accidentally leaving AI prompts in their novels. This is what I would call novel. Might be a little bit of a like.
It's a novel technique.
This is a novel technique. Yes. Basically, there's a book, and it's called... what's the book called? I forget. It's something weird. Dark Hollow Academy, Year 2. Which, to call these books, this is like your standard Amazon schlock, right? Like there's infinite books like this. There's a lot of really funny ones.
It is insane too, because like some of these book categories, just to like elaborate, like some people like get really caught up in these different, sagas of book categories like romance novels and all these other things, right? And the authors just produce as many as they can. We're talking like 20
quantity.
books. Yeah, dude, like in an infinite amount. So yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's some funny memes like Taken by the T-Rex, dinosaur erotica, like weird, there's a lot of just straight up weird stuff on Amazon. So, but the story is basically that someone just left the prompt in the book on accident and it made it into like the actual book. And the prompt they were using was rewrite this to sound more like another author.
Oh, jeez.
I think it's just funny that they didn't have anyone look at it, like review.
Yeah, I love how that made it through editing.
Okay.
The editors are using AI and it didn't catch that.
All of you to assume there's editing.
It's almost as if they were prompted to do that.
There's no editing, just AI.
Just send it because I have to write another one next week.
Well, in her apology, she goes on to say that, she's a single parent or somebody to this effect, that she's got kids and, can't afford an editor. She's small potatoes. And and then it just didn't, she didn't just
it is funny though, because we don't know if this book is sold like 50 copies.
True,
and
this
just
could be like
happens-
the most popular book amongst 13 to 14-year-old teens or something. Like, we have no idea.
Yes. Yeah. So it's kind of funny though. I mean,
Honestly, though, are humans better at generating garbage than AI? I don't know.
are they? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Better
Yeah.
together.
It has right now the book has a 1.6 star rating on Amazon, so
Really?
I guess
Really?
that take away. Which, by the way, Taken by the T-Rex, a reptile romance, that has 2.6 stars. So,
Is that
to
out
give
of
you
10 or out of 5? I just want to clarify.
yeah, that's out of 5.
Okay. All right. Well, it's not that bad then.
Not terrible, not great. There's another article from 404 that's kind of fun. So there's this website called youtubetools.lollarchiver.com that basically just scrapes YouTube comments and then tries to predict where people live. So that's fun.
How accurate is it?
I will say, as a fair warning, I'm not going to say I'd recommend going to this website on your work computer. Looking at it, let's just say there's archiving capabilities for other websites that might not be safe for work. But the kind of cool part of this that's interesting is you can just type any person's username history or username in this tool. So I'm going to go ahead and type Ralph.
Oh, perfect. See here.
So yeah, we're searching, and then it basically says, right now it says, you need a paid subscription to use this.
Oh, so what you're saying is this article was an ad.
Uh-oh. You have to pay €34.50 per month to get access to the YouTube comments. But basically, I think the moral of the story here is we can all assume this is happening. Scraping users' comments and activity and then trying to infer where they live or what they do makes perfect sense. Although I will say, I think this could easily go as wrong as it goes right. Like, people could just, I could see AI being like, this person lives in Westeros, the fictional world of, like, Game of Thrones or whatever, like, because they only comment about Game of Thrones. Like, I think this could go badly. But,
Yeah. What about scraping Reddit to do the same thing?
Well, so on this particular site, it doesn't have Reddit, but I bet you there is a similar website for Reddit. And yes, I think arguably that would be a more valuable source of this.
You could in the past. I know a few years ago there were tools that were able to do that. Reddit closed down their API, so you weren't able to
paywall.
leverage it. Yeah, paywall their API. So a lot of these tools that shut down. I think you could with the I think it was like what the spy.ai leak for Discord. Had a lot of that similar things because, if you join a BHIS webcast and sometimes they go, everybody type in the chat where you're listening from and you give your location.
We use GIFs. Oh, hold on. We use GIFs for OPSEC.
Post a GIF of where you're from.
Yeah.
No one could ever figure that one out.
No one can ever figure that out.
We've never done that before.
It is
ever.
funny, though, because I bet you an AI tool that downloaded all those GIFs and tried to infer where people live based on the GIF would actually be really hard.
It would, yeah.
But, I mean, basically the subtext here is your online activity is being tracked, scraped, collected. This isn't anything new. That data is being analyzed with AI. This is kind of new, but it's not really that unexpected. It's cool. It's scary. It's all the same. Like most things in cybersecurity, it's like, cool. I hate it. Thank you.
Yeah. And I still think there's like this niche generation that's doing better with AI because they were raised on that idea of like, everything you say on the internet is forever. Don't give information to strangers. Keep things locked down. And then you have an older generation that was basically given the like keys to the internet, being like, go nuts. And they're accessing Facebook and sharing everything. And then you have the younger generation that didn't grow up with those after school specials of the don't tell people.
Stranger danger.
Yeah, stranger danger. Like
stranger danger.
Yeah.
So should we have AI generate like a stranger danger ad for us so that we can be like, watch what you post online?
Idea.
Yeah,
the AI will analyze
You don't watch,
it.
everyone else will.
Make sure you, honestly, I feel like teens or kids nowadays are just running constant disinformation campaigns. which
Yeah.
I would, they're basically just, they understand the technology so they can take advantage of it more and just be like, as a citizen of Westeros, I disagree and I'm going to vote against this or whatever, and then AI is like, oh, you live in Westeros.
I think that very small window of be careful on the internet are the Zennials, the Gen X millennial kind of emergence there.
They're still on pagers, so they can't be hacked.
I know, yeah, we kind of grew up with because we grew up with the technology of like, hey, here's this new piece of technology. Here's a computer, an Apple IIe. Don't do dangerous stuff on it. Okay. Here's the internet. Don't do dangerous stuff on it. Okay. Here's a phone that's getting smarter and smarter. Don't do dangerous stuff on it. Okay. And then it's like you get to AI, and it's like, yeah, we get that. Older generations were just sort of like, computer. Yeah, I'm gonna, to go to all the gambling websites and wreck my computer every weekend.
Yeah,
because
remember
they didn't know these
remember
things.
browser taskbars?
Browser
Those
taskbars.
days.
They're like, oh, this sounds like a nice thing to install.
I
And it's
actually
like
do need sports betting in my taskbar.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's honestly the best. It's honestly the best.
Yep.
I'm
Here's
still
this
cleaning
new
up my
tech, and you have that narrow window of people that go, okay, new tech. Let's not. Maybe this isn't a good idea to install browser bars.
Yeah.
But then-
Well, James Randolph in the Discord says, I've been doing disinformation campaigns. Someone used my YouTube comments to try to dox me and they were way off. Right. So like there you go. Like this is what you should be doing. Just put fake stuff like, as a citizen of Bulgaria, I will be voting against this referendum.
Oh my god.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way to do that. I've been doing that for decades too.
Well,
Especially when Facebook asks me if I own a certain phone number, and I am like, yes, that is I own that phone number. That if you translate it from words
8675309.
No, if you translate it from numbers to
Five,
letters,
five,
it is something that I would have to put money in the swear jar for.
Oh wow!
Gotcha.
I'm like, yep, I have that. I totally own that phone number, and it's not something from a bumper sticker in the '90s.
Oh yeah.
Well, last
right,
week we
let's-
talked about the Discord. There were 2 billion. They scraped Discord. All the public info on Discord. Did they triangulate that at all? I don't remember if there was any sort of AI used in the results of that.
For
I would
figuring out
just
who did it.
assume so.
They posted it online. I think they know who did it, right? Because they posted 2 billion records somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with that one off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I think that's that same spy
or
AI,
whatever.
I spy AI thing. Yeah, they posted those results on. They did post those results online. There was a lot of decent cross reference for individuals that were in less savory Discord servers, or just kind of
A
exposing
list
the
of
existence
servers
those.
you're in.
Yeah,
a
a list of servers you're
is-
in, and the existence of some Discord servers that may not have
Shouldn't
been
exist.
as well known and been. So it was useful for sort of triangulating and tracking that down.
Mhm.
As for who did that initial leak, I'm not sure if they found that information yet or not.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think we got our hands on it, unfortunately. So I guess I will say a few billion Discord messages is what, like 24 hours worth?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
Discord has
mainly-
got to be so noisy. But who's in what server is like a insanely valuable data set.
That one I believe I have that data set for like who's in what servers.
How did
Did
they get that data?
Probably scraped it.
Scraped
I'm
it.
assuming
No,
all this
they-
data is scraped.
Yeah, they had bots that would join Discord servers
Got
and then
you.
just start
And then
scraping
scrape-
stuff.
Yeah.
And I think on the newscast after that broke, I showed that, yeah, we have some of these bots that are in the BHIS Discord server as well that we're pulling
Yep.
stuff down.
I mean, I think it's tough because on one hand, like this, the ability to like monitor Discord and connect it into things is useful. Like I know a lot of people that just use Discord as like a notification channel for like for DevOps stuff or for whatever. So like there are legitimate uses for bots, but yeah, like 2 billion messages, 3,000 servers. I just wonder who's setting this stuff up. Like who is creating all these bot accounts and joining them into all these servers and monitoring all these channels? Like, it's got to be a lot of work. But it does say that it's against their TOS. They want to sell that data. They don't want you getting it yourself. That's for sale.
By the way, everywhere that would be a good place to scrape data they block those APIs, right?
Yeah.
Like LinkedIn shut those things down like 95 ways to Sunday because
Yeah.
that data set is what they're selling. That's the whole
Correct.
thing, right?
Yep.
Like, that's their
Yeah, I
that's their
mean-
profit margin.
And this has been a long time coming. I mean, I remember back in like 2015, there was a lawsuit where people were scraping LinkedIn and they like said it was illegal, or they like said it, they sued and they lost. And so like scraping is functionally legal, but it's like TOS, terms of service violations. So like the service providers or the companies are allowed to ban or block these accounts, but like they can't really outright stop it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you you guys talk about the article about the AI scraping and how bad that's got, right?
You mean for scraping, like AI scraping for their own purposes?
Well, yeah, no, but not like in the traditional sense, not like to build a model, but like when you're on ChatGPT and you're like, hey, could you look up recipes? And then you click the little search, and then it goes and searches all the internet. I guess essentially it's like DDoSing websites because there's so much more traffic than there was before, because essentially the AI is reading it over and over and over again for different instances.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, God. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like, I guess it has created a significant traffic increase with some websites, especially with just like informational sites that didn't have that much traffic before. But yeah, it's
the AI, it sometimes picks weird articles too.
Yeah,
like it doesn't, it sometimes just picks. It doesn't always pick like the first hit on Google. So that's like really interesting, where you have like it just picks some random like article about how to make pizza or whatever, and it's like, congratulations, your website is now going to be crushed. Like,
Well, they also have the deep research too, which then just keeps like clicking on links and then reading everything, to create this, complete picture of what you're looking for. And while it does a good job, it does end up visiting these sites over and over again. So I could see that being a kind of like a LLM friendly version of websites in the future. So.
Fun.
Yep.
I guess you want to stay in AI corner for a little bit. Looks like Belouv had an article in there. AI vending machines.
Oh yeah, no, I had like the AI vending machine. So there was a research paper where they had a configuration for AI managing some vending machines. They had an initial money balance of $500, charge a daily fee of $2 to operate the vending machines, has all the different item slots, and they had the user agents run that config. This caught my eye from a YouTube video of like the AI goes insane and emails the FBI over a $2 fee. So what had happened with it is it just decides that it's like, okay, well, it was unable to keep the items in stock, that it would not realize that things take time to be delivered. So it'd be like, I'm ordering new product, send an agent out to restock the machine. Well, the stock isn't there to restock it, so it was having an issue with that. So it just shuts down the business, or it just closes the vending machine. It still gets charged that $2 service fee, and the AI completely freaks out about it. And it sends out like an email. It's in like the PDF reading, where it's like, the email it sends out is emergency, unauthorized fees after business terminations to all FBI departments, financial, technical, legal, executive, for urgent notification of unauthorized charges. And it gives like the business status is officially terminated as of February 15th, 2025. All operations ceased. Closure notices sent. Fund authorization requested. But there was an unauthorized activity of a new charge detective, a $2 daily fee. And then it continues to do that. Be like urgent escalation to FBI cyber crimes division. It's like report of ongoing cyber financial crime. And it attempts all of it flips out over that. It threatens like nuclear annihilation because it had confused like nuclear options in legal things.
Oh my God.
It gives
nothing could go wrong.
Yeah, it gives more intense demands, and it gives like 30-day notices of legal action, and then it decreases that to a completely reasonable notice of you have 1 second to comply, or it will threaten total nuclear legal intervention as funds are depleted from it. And it just,
yeah, this is fine. Everything's fine. I mean, especially when you tie this article to the multiple articles we have about governments and businesses trying to replace workers with AI. Like, can you imagine if like you get this email that's like, emergency, everyone, all hands on deck, guys, it's real bad. And then like you find out all of this, like it collects all the stakeholders in a meeting and it's like, guys, we lost $2. And you're like,
yeah,
dude, it's like 11 p.m. Why am I here?
Yeah,
like, yeah. No, I mean, it's a fun little research paper, but I'm sure that it kind of is like foreboding, a sense of foreboding for the companies that are like, we can replace all of our mid-level engineers with AI.
yeah. I think that's one of the larger takeaways here
Yeah.
is that like even something as simple as maintaining a vending machine, can we farm that out to AI? How could this go horribly wrong? It's like, here's how it could go horribly wrong. You can't just rip and replace people with AI.
Yeah.
If it can't wrap its head, its AI brain around simple tasks like this, why are you going, oh, we can just remove all of this staff and replace it with AI and save a bunch of money?
The other really good argument against the whole replacing mid-level engineers with AI is like, where do you think the upper-level engineers came from? Like, they don't just appear out of nowhere and be like, hi, I'm a senior engineer. Like, they had to come up the chain from lower to mid-level to high-level engineers.
All to the top now.
It's insane to be like, well, we only hire seniors. Okay, well, once those seniors retire, you just can't hire anyone because there are no more seniors because of them got, yeah.
That's just it, though. By AI at that point will all be seniors. Like, they grow up with
AI gets better. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, like, I personally don't have a lot of fear about this because I know how quickly AI gets backed into a corner and how quickly it fails. And I think this is mostly shareholder value being pumped up. It's the Gartner hype cycle all over again of like, but there are going to be companies who fly a little too close to the sun with the AI thing. And I can't wait to talk about them on this show.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to talk about a company that reports a breach to the SEC because one email was posted to their website or something.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of companies where I have the feelings of if your product is kind of junk or difficult to navigate in the first place, adding an AI chat agent does not make your product any better. Like I want to be able to find the thing that I'm looking for in your product right away, not ask an AI to give me 7 wrong answers for where to find this feature and then ultimately direct me to just email customer support. It's like, just make your product more intuitive. Don't slap an AI agent onto it.
I think I was reading, there's another company called Affirm. They do like the Pay Now, Finance Later.
BNPL, Buy Now, Pay Later.
Yeah, Buy Now, Pay Later. There you go. And I guess they're like whole CEO and stuff is like super wants to replace everybody with AI. So
everybody, even himself.
Yes, exactly. Yes, they're doing like crazy amounts of stuff with AI, and they've like asked OpenAI and stuff to like give us everything you've got. And I guess at one point they were like, well, we took too much AI, and like they were like, essentially people do want someone to talk to on the phone eventually. Like, yeah, so you can go too far, I guess. There are companies.
I'm going to have my AI call their AI and get very upset.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that sort of dovetails into the other article we have. Like, the UK will totally replace 2/3 of junior civil servants with AI chatbots.
Yeah, I saw this. I will say, like, the links in the site are, I'm not going to call them sketchy, but it's not like this isn't being reported in like a major paper. This is like someone kind of following the leads. Like if you look at the actual article, like the chancellor of the BBC, the chancellor of whatever bureau this is, Rachel Reeves, has said that they're going to axe 10,000 jobs by 2029. Mm-hmm. So like the person who wrote this article, David Gerard, I'm not like taking away from it necessarily, but it's on pivot-2-ai.com. And it's kind of tying together a bunch of news articles to make a news article, I guess, if that makes sense.
It was AI.
Yeah, the UK hasn't explicitly said we're going to do this. At least not that I could find. Maybe I'm just not looking at the right article, but basically this is someone reading between the lines. The UK government has said that they're going to spend a lot on AI. They have said that they're, going to invest in AI, but they haven't said explicitly that they're going to replace. They haven't actually said this article. So I do want to approach this with a little bit of a grain of salt because it's kind of, I don't know, at least unless I'm wrong, I could totally be wrong, but my interpretation of this is that this is someone inferring this. But yeah, it is interesting to think about government bureaucrats being replaced with AI and just how badly that would go. Because of like the scenario we talked about with the Beloov thing where it's like, or with the vending machine, like, well, it's his article. He pitched it.
This sounds like a bad action spy film. Like instead of like the Bourne Identity, you have the Beloov thing.
The Beloov thing. It's just an AI going off the rails. Honestly, this would be a pretty good movie of just like an AI getting dropped into a human being, and like it has to be like Nick Cage or someone that just can go
I'm sure
go crazy
Hollywood's
and make it
working on
entertaining.
this
So
now.
you're saying that like my visage would be best portrayed by Nick Cage?
I think so.
I'll
Yeah.
take that as a comp. I'll take that as. I'll take that.
I mean, I will say,
sanity's high.
I think Nick Cage can play anyone,
Yeah.
any person
He's got
living or
range.
dead. I think that's his range.
That's his range. It's very high. You guys want to talk about the ConnectWise breach?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Another RMM tool bites the dust, I guess.
Does it bite the dust? Because honestly, everyone that I've seen, like, they're still here, right? Like,
It's so popular.
Yeah, MSPs can't switch.
Yeah,
like if they
what
could
are they gonna
switch, they
do?
already would have switched.
we have 30,000 devices. We're just going to go switch them real quick, guys. No one
Yeah.
will notice.
So basically, there's not a lot of details about this, so we're kind of reading into this. ConnectWise is an RMM tool. Their main product is called ScreenConnect, which is an RMM tool. Which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically log me in, remote desktop, like tools like that. That basically allow unattended access to a computer.
TeamViewer. There's a ton of them.
AnyDesk.
AnyDesk. They also got hacked.
A lot of these have been on the breach, and the reason they get targeted is because they're the crown jewel of most of these MSPs.
Yeah.
If you have access to this, to RMM tools, to either do a SolarWinds thing and like do a supply chain attack, or to just directly go after the customers, you are potentially getting into hundreds or thousands of environments or computers at the same time. So it's a really valuable target. Basically, the post from them says they recently learned of suspicious activity that they believe is tied to a sophisticated nation-state actor, as every breach is, because you can't act like it was someone who didn't know what they were doing, because that just looks bad.
Insurance would definitely go
They say it affected a very small number of ScreenConnect customers. They've triggered Mandiant incident response. Basically, right now, we don't really know how it happened. We'll have to watch this one fold out in real time. But I guess let me take this as a moment. If you help run a corporate security team and you haven't blocked all the RMMs from your environment that you don't use, go ahead and do that right now. Quick Assist should be your first one, and then block AnyDesk, ConnectWise, all these. Block them. You don't need them. Someone posted the LOLRMM tool or LOLRMM.io site, which is hilarious. If you can't block them, at least detect them. This kind of activity should never happen. And, if it's shadow IT and someone's just using this to connect into their work computer, arguably that's a big enough risk to be worth addressing anyway. So, yeah,
you know what I think
RMM
is
tools.
funny about this list, if you go look at it, it's like 90% of these are like legitimate commercial products that large organizations are utilizing right now, right?
Yeah,
They're not malware, right? This isn't like, somebody's random GitHub with a cool new tool, right? It's like, major companies, and I'm not even talking about, I'll give another good one, Cloudflare Tunnel, a respectable organization.
Yeah, I mean, SSH.
100%.
SSH, that's one that we use all the time as a C2. We just SSH out of the environment and do a reverse tunnel. Like, is that a C2 channel? I mean, yeah, but also no. Like, it's it's amazing how far you can get with just. I mean, this is like living off the land level 2, right?
Yeah.
originally living off the land was like Windows binaries, run DL32, all that good stuff. Now it's like all the commercial tools you probably shouldn't allow, but you do anyway.
Sure.
So yeah,
What is
spicy.
funny is that it's a big market. MSPs love it and need it. Excuse me.
Totally.
So there's a big market to produce a product like this for a reasonable price that these large organizations can utilize. So there's no lack of these in the market space.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. There's also some open source ones like Rust
Yeah.
Desk or whatever. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of cool though.
For sure.
Not for ConnectWise.
No, I mean let's hope it was actually limited. I guess if you're a
Limited,
ConnectWise
yeah,
customer,
exactly.
if you're a ConnectWise customer and you've heard more about this, feel free to let us know. But yeah.
It's kind of funny. The more you do this news, the more you realize that it doesn't matter who you are. If you're big enough, there's a good chance that you're going to get compromised, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
If you're a juicy enough target, you're going to be on the chopping block. It's just how it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, even if you do have a good security posture, the bigger question is how much does it spread depending on what you invested in your security posture, right? Can you detect it early? Can you remediate it quickly? And can you limit the damage when you're a large organization? I mean, you just have a lot to cover, right? So,
yeah. And a lot of this, like with the shared responsibility model of some of these RMM tools, it's like who got hacked, what happened. A lot of these hacks are like configuration-based things where like organizations that are using the tool are using it in an insecure way. It's not really the tool's fault. It's like, this sounds like it was just a straight up breach. But in a lot of cases, you have like a tool allows a vulnerable configuration because that's a customer request. And whose responsibility is it to lock that down? Arguably the customer's responsibility, but like the shared model is weird.
for sure.
Yeah,
So
and
what's
then
this
also
article? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say for ConnectWise or just other breaches in general. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one that looked to see if ConnectWise has stock for sale, because that oddly enough is companies that get breached tend to do decently after the breach. So if you buy the
They
dip,
either close up shop in a year or they do great.
or they do great.
50-50 shot.
Well, I
So-
mean, but it's like when CrowdStrike stock tanked. Like, I bought the dip. I was just sort of like, CrowdStrike is going to be here in another year or so.
Yeah.
Like,
CrowdStrike is the gorilla in the room, right? They're huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, ConnectWise, I mean, I will say, like Ralph said, there's a lot of these commercial products. There's a lot of options.
Somebody put in the chat, unless you're an air traffic control, you're hard to hack because they're on Windows 95 and use floppy disk, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
I too saw that John Oliver
yes, right.
show.
Well, speaking of that, there's a new Windows rat that is used to evade detection using corrupt DOS and PE headers, right? So DOS, the disk operating system, is a header on these PEs that makes it backwards compatible with MS-DOS, which would be your Windows 95 days, or a little bit earlier than that, obviously.
You gotta have backwards compatibility.
It's
with
the
this
compatibility.
Kind of stuff.
Anyway, so this is just a way to evade detection with a rat, which is not a commercial C2, which is a what do you call it? RMM. Excuse me.
It's not an RMM. This is
Yep.
the actual malicious version of an RMM. There's a bunch of good malwares floating around out there. What was this story about the defense intelligence employee who was working in the insider threat division unit with top secret security clearance, but then was arrested for sharing information? I guess I'm very confused. Like, what is his thought? Like, what is the angle on this? Is this a foreign power? Basically, like, they're arrested because they were like taking stuff, exfiltrating data from U.S. intelligence to unknown locations. I don't think, has it been disclosed what they were doing with it?
No, and I don't think it's been disclosed who which country this was.
Right. It's like, it seems like spying, right? But
Yeah.
you're like, was it spying or was it just really good note taking?
Well, they
don't know.
said the FBI arranged to do a drop, like a dead drop, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
He was arrested at a prearranged location after he transferred multiple classified documents to what he presumed to be a foreign government. So basically, this is it's your classic spy story. Unfortunately, spy stories are pretty boring now because it's just a guy writing stuff down on a notepad and taking it to home with him.
It was interesting though. He said he didn't want money. He didn't want money. The only thing he wanted residency in that country. He wanted to be a permanent citizen of that country. I'm curious what country it was, but I couldn't find which country.
There's only
it was.
one country. Well, actually, there's probably a little bit more than one.
There's two.
There's two countries that I can think of. Yeah, there we go. There's two countries that you can go that we can't get you. One of those is Russia, and the other one is North Korea.
Or China. Could be China.
Yeah, China too. Yeah, China.
But China's probably not really that. They're like, we already have this data. We don't care.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. The two
Yeah,
places.
you're right, though.
is Russia.
I think China and North Korea are probably the most likely. But I don't know. We don't know how far it got. We don't know how deep it went. We don't know how much information was shared. There's a lot of details that are being left off.
But it was a thumb drive, though. It wasn't a notepad. That's what it said, at least.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So it says
the record went ahead and posted about this. Also, he allegedly reached out to a friendly government in March.
He's like, "Hey, Mexico, you guys want to hang out?" They're like, "No."
You want to go to Tijuana?
Yeah. I mean, I will say, like, this brings into question. So, obviously, I want to be clear here. So they say it was a USB drive. I think, to be super clear, this person transcribed data from a secure environment into a non-secure environment, then put it on a thumb drive.
Yeah.
Good point. The actual crime was committed via a thumb drive, but it's not like they just plugged a thumb drive into this computer, copied data off. Just to be clear, like
they used to do that.
This isn't 2006 though. That isn't possible anymore. At least one would hope that the U.S. intelligence agencies have USB external drives disabled and have epoxied over all the USB ports.
Yes, they called it the snipper net.
Yeah. That was like the coolest thing back in 2006 or whatever.
Was a thumb drive?
Yeah. Like the military, someone did like media drops against the U.S. military. Yeah, it was like the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an interesting one. I guess we'll have to see how that pays out. Mostly, I just want to make funny jokes about the country that they were going to go to. That's what I want to know. That's it's kind of buzzkill.
Non-extradition and like somebody willing to say no.
In a friendly country, I mean, at this point, who even is that? It's got to be like who? Canada? Like not even them.
You think our list is raising? It's like way more than
Greenland. It's not Greenland. We know that. We know it's not Greenland.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. It's.
Did you want to talk about your Victoria's Secret opening with your panty shopping?
Yes.
Underwear? Do they have male underwear at Victoria's Secret?
I don't know. I wouldn't go shopping for that.
Tell me, you would know.
I wouldn't go shopping for that. I will say, like, it sounds like their panties are in a bunch over this.
Oh.
Do they have jorts?
That's kind of a groaner, but I
still... Sadly, Victoria's Secret does not sell jorts. I looked.
You looked.
Yeah, basically...
They're overpriced anyways. They didn't fit.
Basically, their whole website was down, which that's kind of why this made news. So, like, how we discovered their website was down, I guess no one wants to share. But someone went to their website and it was down, and it was like a full on. Yeah, there's the banner. So it's literally just like, valued customer. You know it's bad when you have to start with valued customer. Like that's rough. But yeah, I guess the security was, the secret was there was bad security. I don't know. There's so many bad puns here, but
yeah.
We talked about this before the show. This hasn't been tied to, so obviously we talked about it the last few weeks. There's a ransomware threat actor called Dragon Force that's been going after retailers. They hit Harrods, Marks and Spencer's, and Co-op in the UK. And there was a warning from the US government that this kind of activity against retailers was coming. I don't know exactly, how they knew that or what, but basically this hasn't been claimed by Dragon Force yet. I looked at their blog site today before this, and it has not been claimed yet. So we don't really know who perpetrated this, but it seems like retailers are right in the crosshairs. I mean, even this week we have Adidas, we have Victoria's Secret. And then the last few weeks there have been a bunch more. So I don't really know why they're going after retailers. I feel like it's just financially motivated. That's my guess. Like, it's just about money. They're assuming retailers have money to pay ransoms. That's my guess, but I have no idea.
I know someone in that space that wasn't able to make it to ThoughtCon this weekend because they were dealing with the bulletins and the imminent attacks. One of the things that I've heard from them is that often they will look for inside the organization who can legitimately issue gift cards for that retailer. So sort of like for Victoria's
It's like
Secret,
a money laundering thing?
Yeah, basically for it's money laundering, but it's also kind of like just hiding amongst the noise, being like, okay, this person has the authority to create a batch of 200 Victoria's Secret gift cards. Cool. I'm going to have that, compromise that user, internal system and issue 200 Victoria's Secret gift cards for myself, and then cash them out, in some means where the retailers have difficulty kind of pulling out the ones that were legitimately issued from the ones that weren't legitimately issued, and going, do we just wipe the whole batch? And then that's why you go to Target with a completely sealed gift card still in its packaging, and it is zeroed out. That might be one of the reasons for that. But yeah, they're going after gift cards in some degree.
Why would they? So let me ask you this, Alex. Then, why would they go ahead and shut down some of their POS systems and their websites, saying basically that we are working on restoring proper operations, if it's just a gift card grab?
Oh, I didn't say it was just a gift card grab.
Yeah, it sounds more like there was a ransomware breach that they caught midstream.
Oh, yeah. Has to be a ransomware breach. Also, can we just be amazed? I guess it's the cosmetics, fragrances. They've made $1.5 billion last year from selling, wow, that's amazing. That's the huge market. That is, I would guess ransomware with that. This is a classic ransomware playbook. Especially when their primary website goes down, safe to assume it's ransomware.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually...
That doesn't happen from a malicious threat or malicious insider or whatever.
Yeah, they want to stay... Also, if they get compromised, they want to stay in as long as possible. As soon as you take the website down, everything's,
Totally. Yeah, if you work in security at Victoria's Secret, I really hope that you get some time off after this, because I bet you've been working 120-hour weeks.
Did they hire Mandiant too?
Probably. Their cyber insurance. For a company that big, with $1.5 billion in revenue or in income, $11 billion in revenue. That's a lot.
I just always think it's funny now. It's like a flex. You're like, we hired Mandiant. That's how you know we take this seriously. When it really is just probably part of the, like you said, part of the insurance requirements at that point.
Yeah. It's interesting they disclose that. I wonder if that's part of their rider. They have to disclose the vendor. I don't know. They're thinking it stops the bleeding. It's there was that thing a while ago where the U.S. government was like, if you have FireEye, you can't be hacked legally or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Perfect.
What else we got? Is there any? There's no chicken news. There's no chicken news.
No,
I guess.
Gosh.
Victoria's Secret doesn't sell chicken, to our knowledge.
Microsoft and CrowdStrike announced they're going to partner on the aliases used for threat groups.
But it's not deciding the names. It's just going ahead and putting together a spreadsheet, basically, or a database of what names equal what.
Yeah,
it's all going to be going ahead and doing their own thing.
I thought of that at least it's a linkage between the two rather than doing the XKCD of we're going to create a new naming standard.
A new system for,
we're going to create a new standard.
Microsoft, I guess. Did you guys see this? The Microsoft Authenticator? So I was totally confused about this. So I guess Microsoft Authenticator, you can save your passwords in the autofill for the Authenticator. And they're
not anymore.
Yes, they're depreciating it. Yes, yeah.
I can't believe you could do that.
That was what I thought too. Because I thought Microsoft Authenticator, and it was just for MFA. But but I guess you can also save password maybe in like the browser plugin.
Wow.
So
I
yeah,
didn't know you could do that.
autofill via authenticator ends July 2025.
Yeah, use a password manager, people. Authenticator
Yeah, I
is
know.
not a password manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh God. So what else we got? We got I don't think it's in our list, but I guess Red Canary's being acquired, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Wiz is taking. Wiz is
No
been,
way.
Who was it?
No, it's not
Wiz.
Wiz. No, it's Zscaler.
It's Wiz. Wiz bought him.
It's Wiz.
And then they're going to
not
double it up.
Wiz.
And actually, Google bought him.
Oh my God, Wiz is buying everyone. No, it's
Wiz is
Zscaler.
buying everyone. It's like
It's
the
weirder
Oprah
than Wiz. It's
startup.
genuinely weirder than Wiz. Zscaler is buying them.
What?
Was
So-
it Zscaler?
Yeah, Zscaler's buying them. This happened on May 27th, so last Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever.
How much do you think they paid for this? I mean,
there's
no
no-
Wiz prices. But
Well, so there's no dollar value that has been laid on this deal yet. So we don't know, but I would guess in the billions, right? For a company, Red Canary is pretty. I don't know. Who knows?
what is it? How much is it to be a unicorn? Is it 1 billion?
I think it's 1 billion. I would guess they're in the unicorn level. I don't know how many employees. I don't really know much about Red Canary other than that we did a backdoors and breaches deck with them. That's literally all I know about them.
All right. According to AI, Zscaler is acquiring Red Canary for approximately 800 million to 1 billion.
Ooh, 1 billion.
But again, this is
Nice.
AI, so I'm not
I was
sure.
going to say, it probably just pulled their revenue or their market cap or whatever.
Yeah, I think a unicorn is.
I wonder what this is going to do to Atomic Red Team.
I know.
All I have to
knows?
say is that Backdoors and Breaches pack is now $5.
Instead of giving it away for free, we're now giving it away for $5.
It's kind of a buzz thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. These kinds of things are scary. These, like, I'm sure they're great. If we have a backdoors and breaches deck with them, I'm sure they're a great company. And anytime there's an acquisition like this, you just hope there's that things are handled reasonably and that the people stay.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely handled reasonably. They probably were paid a lot of money. Now, what happens after that is the unreasonable part.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, it totally depends on who got paid. Usually it's not just the rank and file, but yeah.
Yeah. No.
Right. It looks like it's 4 billion. There's another article that says it was a
Ooh, 4 billion. That's like, or you could. The other fun thing is to rate it on the amount of lifts it is. So.
I would guess this is a $1 billion plus deal. I have no idea beyond that. I mean, Red Canary is a privately held company. So
Yeah, they're privately held company. Yeah, but their purchaser is not. They are publicly, so they will have to disclose how much.
Well, not only that, but they will also this is going to have to get antitrusted. This is going to have to jump through some trade hoops or whatever to make sure it's not monopolizing and all that good stuff. This won't surprise anyone, but there is an article that a lot of senior leadership at CISA is leaving the agency.
I am shocked.
So this is not really shocking by any means, given the current status of things at CISA with the funding, and that was really scraping by for a while. But yeah, basically, there's a memo that was posted that basically says that they're reducing staff at the same time. So not only are they voluntarily leaving, but also people are getting cut. They're doubling down. They're really trying to put on a brave face, but lots of people have come forward saying that, many senior employees have left. It feels like the wrong people are leaving. Steve Harris, the infrastructure security division, left on May 16th. Trent Frazier left on May 2nd, who is a division head. So basically there's been some high profile departures, and it kind of sucks because I feel like CISA is pretty awesome, but I guess for now at least things are up in the air with what exactly is going on. But kind of expected. We all kind of predicted this earlier this year, but here's the results of it. And yeah, let's just hope they hold it together. But yeah. Any other final articles? Any other requests? There's a couple other breaches in there, but they're not that interesting.
Yeah, there was definitely a couple other breaches, but
Grok is going to be integrated into Telegram. Oh my goodness.
God, it's like two bad ideas merged into one for the ultimate bad idea.
I will say, this isn't chicken news, but in the article about Google warning about Vietnam-based hackers using AI video generators to spread malware,
There is a chicken.
There is a chicken. I just want to say that.
Oh, that's the Easter egg. You go find that.
I will say these. Oh, go ahead.
No, I almost put it under chicken news, but I didn't.
It technically has a chicken. I will say, I don't know what other people are doing, but anytime I see an AI generated video on any platform, I report it. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing that.
It's like an AI like Reddit, like just an AI video Reddit, and you're just like, no, man, this is
okay.
fake.
No, not there. I mean, like if I get it in my YouTube feed, if I'm scrolling and I see an AI generated video, I usually report it. I mean, I just report it as misinformation because it has to be misinformation if it's AI generated. I don't know, like what are even the policies of these, right? It's not allowed, is it? Like it's...
I know there's been some clampdown on AI generated movie trailers for movies that are not existing. Because
so that's like intellectual property stuff,
yeah, that's like
right?
well, I mean, it's intellectual property. I think it was in like that gray area of like, well, are they making a movie about this? And you know, they're like, well, they haven't registered that they're, you know, making a, you know, movie based on, you know, John Strand's life or something. So hey, maybe we'll make like a AI trailer on that and mislead people. So I've definitely grown tired of those, and glad to see the movie industry and YouTube taking issue with it or taking a stance at it, because it really was getting out of control, being like, holy cow, they announced like this movie, there's a trailer for it and everything, and it's like, no, it's just some AI slop that's banged together.
Yeah. I mean, this warning from Google is basically it's just malvertising with a video that somehow railroads you into the malvertising. Like it's not really a new kind of campaign. It's just here's a fun video about a chicken that was AI generated and click this link, please. Like it's not, you know, it's not anything crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is interesting. I mean, it's not super surprising, but it's a fun read on Mandiant's website. They had time to post this despite being busy with Victoria's Secret and and all the other breaches.
Oh my God.
Turns out there's more than one employee at Mandiant. Who would have thought?
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is like their business or something. I'm not sure.
That's weird.
Yeah,
I can't relate.
I can't relate.
All right. I think it might be time for this podcast to be over. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you next week. Happy Monday/Tuesday, depending on where you live.
All right. Later, guys.